Otherwise, what's going on, guys? Hope you guys enjoyed the video today. We're going to go through the Warriors versus Dolphins game in New Zealand. I'm going to give you my thoughts, my positives, my negatives, because I do have a couple of negatives I want to go over, and then my overall, my players of the game, who I enjoyed, who I really enjoyed watching in this game. If you enjoyed this sort of content, please make sure you like and subscribe, and also make sure you comment down below your players or your thoughts overall on the game and the performance from the boys. So the boys get this done, 30 points to 8 over the Dolphins in Go Media Stadium, or Mount Smart, whatever you want to call it these days. I know it's been changed now, so pretty, I'm not too sure what I think about that name, but we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So a really slow start, to be honest, for me, especially with a team that, running out, they had no Jeremy Marshall-King. They had Tom Gilbert play hooker for a little bit. We really, I know they had a rookie on the bench that ended up playing hooker a little bit later on, but it really confused me seeing Tom Gilbert, he's, not Tom Gilbert, Jared Wallace. Jared Wallace played hooker for most of that game, and that was probably one of the biggest hookers I've seen since Josh McGuire had to fill in hooker for the Broncos and all that sort of stuff. So obviously, the Dolphins missing a couple of key boys, Jerry Marshall-King, Garfusi, Gilbert, the Hammer. But to be fair on us, we were missing a couple of boys as well, like Dylan Walker, Jazzy Tavanga, Tamari Martin still waiting to come back as well. We're missing a couple of boys, and during this game, losing Rocco Berry 15 minutes in, and then Joshy Curran a little bit later on. I know the Dolphins, they also, Branko Lee went down with injury, and Tafare came on. We'll talk about more of the Dolphins performance in my week preview. So Wednesday, my week preview, so go check those ones out. But I thought the boys did really well to contain the big boy on the edge, Tafare, because that boy has a whole lot of tackle breaking ability, and he creates a whole lot of opportunities. I thought we did really well in those moments there. To be fair, to start this game, I was pretty down. We started off really well, especially on a blackout night. I thought all the fans turned out. You could hear the fans through the TV. Everyone was going crazy. I love the entrances and all that sort of stuff. The smoke everywhere. I love the jerseys. They're possibly my favorite jerseys, other than the old school 98 jersey or 96 jersey where we had the white with the red, green, and blue. Those jerseys are possible. I think they're honestly right up there. I love that black and gray. It's so great on us. But when we were only up 6-4 for most of this game, with Sean Johnson brilliance with the dummy and go, Adam Fanua-Blake running that really nice lead run there, and then Shawnee just dummy and go, and that footwork to get through the line. 6-4, especially, we made some really big tackle breaks at one stage. I think we were up 6-1 on line breaks, and I think the only one line break came from the intercept from Nicarima, where we came through the line. I thought Wade Egan had some really nice moments early on where he was deceptive in the ruck, and then made it all the way through, and then Mitchie Barnett with that pass to Nicarima, just shooting through and taking a really nice intercept there. Really just props on Nicarima for making that play happen. But I thought the big positives with us is we never looked like we were getting dominated in this game. Even in that moment there, we cover tackled really well. Usually the old Warriors would have let Nicarima go all the way to score that try there. In that one, we had, I think it was Jackson Ford, we had Joshy Curran, we had all the big boys try to cover back. Yeah, just really great performances from those boys to cover back and to shut down that play. And then a little bit later on, obviously, Dallin almost picking off that ball, just touching that ball right at the edge there, and Tessie New going in the corner there just to get the Dolphins at 6-4. And then for the majority going into the second half, it was 6-4. We didn't really look like we were we had a whole lot of opportunities, but we just bombed some big moments towards the other end. I think this is what come to a lot of our errors did come in around this place. I think the second half we came out and we played a really strong game plan to continue on. As I was saying before, I really do believe that in no part of this game that I felt like we were going to lose it. I was a bit more down of I felt like in moments that we should have been up on the scoreboard quite a bit with the amount of pressure, the amount of possession we had, the amount of times, we were locking the Dolphins into their 50 most of the time. And with our boys, Adam Fanua-Blake and all those boys, we're just setting a platform that we should have been scoring a lot better off. And I'm not too sure whether we're still working out combinations, obviously, with Shawnee, Luke Metcalf. Wade Egan's been in and out of this team for quite a bit of time. Chancey, it's good to see Chancey back and just killing it again too. So obviously, I felt like that's what really coincided with it. But then the sin bin happened, and then the boys kind of just opened the floodgates. And this is what we want to see from our boys. A whole lot of teams do struggle at the moment, surprisingly, going down one man and scoring tries or just getting over the top of that other team. The boys just did not let up. We just kept going with our game plan. Shawnee, just some brilliance, man, to open it all up again. Shawnee had a fucking stellar game here. So negatives, obviously, as I said before, I felt like with the amount of ball that we had, the amount of good field position we actually had in this game, I would have thought that we would have blew out the scoreline a little bit earlier. Obviously, the Dolphins were really resilient in this game, but I also felt like our attack attack wasn't fucking like, just crispy. There was moments where obviously they were shutting down a Luke Metcalf quite early on. You can see like Anthony Milford had a target on Lukey Metcalf to shut him down pretty early. I feel like a lot of teams have actually got to come into the game plan. They're really shutting down Lukey. Lukey hasn't had that too many opportunities. He had a really nice try in this one, obviously being on the inside of Nick Gore. I felt like with all the ball and pressure we had early on, I thought we would be up by quite a bit more, but the points did end up coming towards the end of the game. I think that was the biggest positive overall with us. And we still need to clean up a little bit of our game, even though, to start the season, we had the best handling error in the competition, rate. We didn't usually give up too many handling errors. Now we're starting to concede a little bit more handling errors. Now our attack is trying to get back into gear and all that sort of stuff. So 11 last week, 10 this week. Wasn't the best performances overall. I think we ended the game with 76% completion rate. So obviously we just need to clean up on a couple of those errors, especially when our forward pack puts us in the positions that they do. And I thought our forward pack was immense in this game, especially it was so great to see Mitchy Barnett back out in that field. So moving on with positives in this game, 9 line breaks is the big one for me. We had, as I was saying before, I feel like in one part of that game, we were 6-0 up in line breaks before Nick Karima ended up getting that interception. We had a 91% tackle efficiency in this game. We just dominated them through the middle, in my opinion. I thought we were really, really great there, and only 17 missed tackles in this game. And I thought our cover tackles were really, really nice in this game as well. As I said, the one that always sticks out with me is the Nick Karima intercept. He just went all the way down the middle of the field, and the boys were just there to cover. And that is the best thing that, that's the best part of being a Warriors fan this year, is seeing our boys put in a whole lot of effort throughout the games. I feel like that's the reason why we're starting to fill out stadiums, and people are actually proud of this team now, which is really, really good to see. Also, another positive, we did stick to a game plan. We did not waver away from it. We knew the points would come, even though fans like me and all that sort of stuff wanted to see a bit more points earlier on in the game. We did not waver away. We just kept turning up, kept putting a whole lot of pressure on the Dolphins. They end up cracking towards the end of the game. It's usually the way the Dolphins end up playing their game plan. We played it on them, especially when they're down a whole lot of starting men, a whole lot of big troops. They were going to make errors. They were going to have moments where they were going to fall apart, especially with the amount of troops that they had out. So we played a really smart game plan there. Props to Webby, the way he played all his men. It was surprising to see Joshy Curran go into the center instead of Nick Corey, but it ended up working out as well. Even though I think the first play that Joshy Curran nearly had Dallin Watini-Zelezniak on the outside, he missed that pass, put it behind him. And a little bit later on, we did see with the out the back sweep play that Joshy Curran ended up finishing a really, really nice pass to Dallin to give Dallin, I think, his second try of the match. I think this was before the intercept. So my players of the game, obviously number one, this is not my player of the match, but this is a player that I've been waiting for to come back. Everyone's been saying we need a big front rower up next to Adam Fanua-Blake. We had that to start the season, in my opinion. We had a big, aggressive bloke that we needed in the middle. Obviously, the neck injury really scared a whole lot of people, with the way it gone. But Mitch Barnett, just so good to see him out in the middle. And you just see that Adam's starting to really just have that, he's got that aggressive tackling style in him now. With Mitch Barnett in the middle there, it's just those boys that's bringing me back to old school Warriors football, where we hit really hard, we tackle really hard, and everyone's going to have to get on that plane from New Zealand with a whole lot of ice bags. So it's really good to see there. 147 run meters, 48 post contact meters, 28 tackles, only 1 miss in this one. Great game from him. Next up, possibly my player of the game in this one, Sean Johnson. 2 tries, 127 meters, 5 tackle breaks, 2 line breaks, 1 line break assist, 27 tackles, 1 miss, 378 kick meters. Shawnee was in amazing form in this game. It's so good to see him in that blacked out jersey. Fuck, bro, so good to see. Dallin Watini-Zelezniak, definitely another one up there. 2 tries, 209 meters, 4 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 1 intercept to score that really beautiful try to end the game. Amazing game from him. Chance Nickel-Coxtag, 186 run meters, 3 tackle breaks, 1 line break, 1 line break assist. What I loved out of Chancey in this game was also the way he, it's what we've been loving through his season this season, is the momentum he builds through the middle of the ruck when he gets those 3rd or 4th tackle runs. So he's amazing through the middle there. Adam Fanua-Blake, amazing game from him. 195 run meters, 78 post contact meters, almost more than what most people get in actual run meters. 1 tackle break and 30 tackles, no miss. So Adam also had a really great shot in this game. It was just good to see Adam just play fucking he's like the man against a whole lot of boys. And it was just, yeah, Adam is such a classy, just the top 3, in my opinion, front rower in this competition, maybe 1 or 2. So he is so good. Payne Haas is obviously holding that mantle at the moment. moment, but I'd argue that Adam Fanor-Blake has got to be up there around about. So Wade Egan, this one, stats-wise, you know, he had a couple of really nice stats in this one, but overall, I thought Wade Egan had a really solid game. 75 meters run, 2 line break assists, 38 tackles, no miss. So that's a big stat for Wade Egan, but also his ruck deception is something that you have to see with your eyes. He had a couple of really nice moments out of ruck. I love the way he's playing the ruck at the moment, and he's starting to not have those moments where he's always darting out a dummy half in like really weird positions to try and score the try. You know, he will do that in moments where he'll pick an opportunity and all that sort of stuff where, you know, 10 meters out, we just need the boys to get through attacking sets there. But there has been moments in the past where I've been like, Wado, why'd you try to get out of half to get that try there? In this game, he was really, really good in that position, and he had some really nice long balls to Shawnee to get attacking sets going. I'm pretty sure the one that Shawnee scored had a really nice long ball, hit the chest of Shawnee. Shawnee had a whole lot of opportunities which way you wanted to go with that one. And Lukey Metcalf, so this is a player that I've been watching for the last couple of weeks, obviously for our future 6. This is what we want to see, whether Metcalf's going to be our future 6 or 7, you know, with Ronald Volkman in the future. 28 tackles, 1 miss. This is the key stat for me because I felt like, you know, with Metcalf was probably the one thing that would turn him down for having him in that 6 role was maybe his defense. Defensively, he's been pretty good, to be honest, in my opinion. And what were really nice about Luke Metcalf's performance was his speed for covered defense. I felt like our cover tackles on that edge was great all game, other than the one try that they scored on that edge a little bit late in that game. But even then, you know, I felt like, you know, consolation in some sort of way, but I would have loved to see the boys defend that as well. But I felt like, you know, he was just always there to cover, and it was really, really good to see he was in this contest from the start, and obviously scoring that really nice try where he was just the speed that he gets, so where he gets to be that support man through the middle when there's a tackle break or a line break. Just good to see Lukey Metcalf in that position. So hopefully we can maybe hold on to him. Whether Tamari comes back, what happens with Tamari, if Tamari goes straight back into our 6 role, or whether we play a little bit like Tamari as a 14, whether we play, I'm not too sure. That's going to be the real big question for Webby coming up in the future, especially in our next game. We got the Raiders in our next game. I'm not sure Tamari is back next game. I think he's in the game after, but we see Dylan Walker come back into that contest, and our bench in this game looked amazing. Now wait to see our bench next week. We get another added piece to that bench, and then when Jazzy comes back, our forward depth is going to be back to normal. So again, and another one, Rocco Berry probably be out for 11-day stand down. We got Braden Villiame, who played pretty decent in New South Wales Cup, and he played really nice to start the season. I feel like he's going to probably fill in that spot there. I'm not too sure whether we may look at other centres and all that sort of stuff. There's a couple of really nice ones in New South Wales Cup. But I feel like Braden Villiame, he's been there, he's done that. He could be really good to put that back in that position. But shout out to Rocco Berry. I feel like the time that he has had there, I would love to have him back in that starting role because I feel like he's been really, really nice lately. I thought he's really stood up for us at the moment. So it's really good to see him get into really good form of football. Again, guys, if you enjoyed this content, please make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much, guys, for all your support lately. Take it easy. Peace out.